Have you ever wished you could shrink your homework down to the size of a postage stamp? Or maybe make your favorite cookie as big as a dinner plate? Well, for a boy named Max, this wasn't just a daydream. It all started one rainy afternoon when Max was exploring the one place in his house that felt like a treasure trove of forgotten secrets, the attic. Up there, amongst dusty boxes and old photo albums, he found it. Tucked away in a dark corner was an old, leather backpack. It looked perfectly ordinary, a bit worn out, with faded patches and a single rusty buckle. Curiosity got the better of him. Max dusted it off and, for lack of anything better to do, he tossed his favorite baseball inside. He expected to hear a soft thud, but instead, there was a faint shimmer of light. When he opened the flap, the baseball was gone. He frantically searched inside, and his fingers brushed against something tiny. He pulled it out, and there it was, his baseball. But now it was no bigger than a marble. His jaw dropped. Could it be? He tried again, this time with his big, fluffy dog, Buster. He whispered, "Be a good boy, Buster," and gently guided him into the backpack. Poof! Another shimmer. Max reached in and pulled out a pocket-sized Buster, wagging his tiny tail. This was incredible. The next few days were a blur of magical fun. Max shrunk his clunky bike to carry it to the park, then made it full size again. He grew a single piece of popcorn into a giant, fluffy cloud he could nap on. He even turned his tiny toy car into a real, life-size vehicle, though he didn't dare try to drive it. The world was his playground, and the magical backpack was his key. He felt like the most powerful kid on the planet. But as you know, with great power comes, well, great big trouble. One evening, while Max was showing off by shrinking his entire collection of action figures, a pair of bright, beady eyes watched him from the shadows. A mischievous raccoon, known in the neighborhood for his clever antics, saw the shimmering backpack. To him, it wasn't magic. It was just a shiny new thing to steal. As Max turned his back for just a second to grab a cookie, the raccoon darted out, snatched the backpack with its teeth, and scurried up a tall oak tree. "Hey, come back here!" Max yelled, his heart pounding. The raccoon just chattered back, as if mocking him. Max was in a panic. All his shrunken treasures were inside, not to mention the most amazing thing he'd ever owned. He tried climbing the tree, but the branches were too high. He tried luring the raccoon down with food, but the clever creature just snatched the snacks and stayed put. Max sat under the tree, feeling helpless. He had relied so much on the backpack's magic that he'd forgotten how to solve problems on his own. He realized that the backpack didn't make him smart or brave. It just made things easy. Then, he had an idea. It wasn't a magical idea, but a clever one. He remembered that the raccoon loved shiny things. He ran back inside and grabbed the shiniest thing he could find, a small, handheld mirror. He stood under the tree and started reflecting the afternoon sun right into the raccoon's eyes. The bright flashes were too annoying for the raccoon to ignore. It squinted, chattered in frustration, and finally dropped the backpack to scamper away to a less bothersome branch. Success! Max grabbed the backpack, relief washing over him. Holding the backpack, Max understood something important. The magic was amazing, but it was his own mind and his own courage that had saved the day. He'd outsmarted the raccoon without shrinking or growing a single thing. He realized the magic wasn't the real adventure. The choices he made were. That evening, Max climbed back up to the attic. He placed the backpack right back where he found it, in the dusty corner. He knew it would be there if he ever truly needed it. But for now, he was excited to see what adventures he could create all on his own. Of course, he might have kept one tiny, shrunken-down action figure in his pocket, just as a souvenir. After all, every adventurer needs a reminder of their greatest journey.